The film starts by showing the whole world, then focuses on America, where the sun is rising. Like a normal day, this day also begins. We then see a family living in America. The family consists of the head of the family, his wife Amanda, and their 2 children. The man had a very good nature and rarely got angry. In contrast, his wife Amanda had a very angry disposition. She didn't like people, doubted everyone, and was very jealous. Despite this, both husband and wife used to joke around. Their daughter was very innocent and loved watching TV shows. Their son was a bit mischievous. That morning, as soon as Amanda's husband woke up, she was in a very good mood. She told her husband, "I feel like going on a holiday. That's why I have booked a house for us on the island." Her husband couldn't refuse and agreed. Everything was ready, and after a while, they left for the island. They got into the car, and Amanda was enjoying herself. She was very happy. After traveling for a few hours, they reached the house Amanda had booked. The house was magnificent, and everyone liked it. The children swam in the pool, while her husband was busy with the luggage. Amanda went to the market, feeling very happy to buy food and drinks. After buying all the items, as she was putting the groceries in the car, she saw another man loading a lot of food and drinks into his car. It seemed like enough food for a whole family, making Amanda feel like he was preparing for the end of the world. This seemed strange to Amanda, but she left without saying anything to him. After coming home, the family got ready and went to the beach. They sat there peacefully, enjoying themselves. Then, they saw a very large ship far out at sea. They assumed it would change its course. But even after 2 hours, the ship remained in the same place, and in fact, it had come closer. This seemed strange. Gradually, the ship came even closer, and Amanda felt scared. She understood that something was wrong. Amanda's husband told everyone to run away from there. Everyone was scared and started running in different directions. There was chaos on the beach. The ship did not stop and came onto the beach before stopping. It seemed like no one was controlling it. All of this was very strange. Soon, the whole beach was emptied. A guard found out that there was a problem with the system, which caused this issue. It had happened not only with this ship, but with many other ships as well. The family left the beach and then discovered that the internet was not working, and there were no channels on TV either. They couldn't order food online, so they had to make do with whatever they had. At night, the children slept while Amanda and her husband were downstairs drinking. Suddenly, there was a knock on their door. They were shocked. Who could it be? When they opened the door, they found a man named Scott and his daughter standing there. Both husband and wife were very surprised because it was very strange for a stranger to come to their house like this. Scott said to Amanda, "Madam, this is my house. You spoke to me online." But Amanda was suspicious because she had not spoken to him on the phone. Scott said, "Can we come inside?" Amanda's husband invited them into the house. Scott explained that they lived in the city, but suddenly there was a power outage and darkness spread everywhere. He said, "I know you have come here to celebrate holidays. You have paid money, so we are not asking you to leave. We also want to stay here. We will not disturb you. We will sleep in the basement. I will even give you money." He returns their $1,000. Amanda's husband did not doubt them and agreed they should stay. However, Amanda was not easily convinced. She said to Scott, "I cannot allow you to stay here because I have a problem." But when the husband and wife talked in private, Amanda expressed her suspicion. She believed they had come with ill intentions. Her husband argued that they were in trouble and needed help. "I don't think they will harm us. Let's do one thing. I will talk to them one last time. If I find any problem, I will tell them to leave." They resumed their conversation with Scott, who spoke nicely and didn't seem dangerous. He was actually a bit nervous. Once convinced, Amanda agreed. Then Scott's daughter turned on the TV, which was broadcasting an emergency alert. This confirmed Scott was telling the truth. There was a power outage, no internet, and no TV channels working. The family was confused by these conditions. Scott, being a government officer, suspected something serious was happening, which was evident from his worried demeanor. The next morning, Amanda's daughter asked, "Uncle, I want to watch the next episode. There's no internet. Can you do something?" When Amanda checked her phone, she saw an emergency alert. She showed it to her husband, but the alert disappeared. Her husband suggested that the whole system might have been hacked. Amanda was mainly concerned about the two strangers in their house. Her husband decided to go out to find information about the situation. After he left, Scott and his daughter also went out. Amanda mentioned the emergency alert on her phone to them, which shocked Scott. Worried, Amanda said the situation was getting out of control. Scott, trying to reassure them, said, "No, I hope everything will be fine soon." He explained that a similar situation had occurred years ago due to a virus caused by two boys. He believed the current problem would also have a solution. Scott appeared to be consoling them to prevent panic, but he realized the problem was severe. Scott's wife was supposed to take a flight, adding to their worry as no system was working. When Amanda's son was alone outside, a large number of deer appeared, standing together, which was very unusual behavior for animals. Scott went to his neighbor's house for help, but found no one there. Meanwhile, Amanda's husband's GPS stopped working, causing him to get lost. Suddenly, a distressed woman approached his car, crying for help, claiming she had been lost for 2 days and needed to call someone. Her distress made Amanda's husband anxious, so he drove away without helping her. A bit further, he heard a plane and saw a red object falling from it. Scared, he started driving faster. When the plane passed, he realized the red object was actually papers with something written in Farsi. Scott remembered his friend had a satellite phone, so he went inside to retrieve it, hoping it might work. Amanda's children ventured into an unknown jungle and discovered a cabin, which they decided to explore. But there was no one there. Amanda's daughter told her brother about the deer, but he didn't believe her. Instead, he started telling scary stories to frighten her, and then left. Scott was trying to use the satellite phone, but it wasn't working. Earlier, we were shown that the American satellite had changed its direction, which was why Scott's satellite phone wasn't functioning. He then went to a beach and saw a crashed plane with dead bodies scattered everywhere. It was a heartbreaking sight as no one had survived. Scott realized another plane was approaching and would likely crash too. He ran to save his life as the plane crashed onto the beach, causing a large wave to hit the house, soaking Scott. Terrified by the situation, Scott didn't tell his daughter about the crash, but instead said he fell into the pool, which was why his clothes were wet. He then sent his daughter to buy new clothes. Scott informed Amanda that the satellite phone had stopped working, which was surprising since satellite phones usually continue working even when other systems fail. Amanda was skeptical, so Scott finally admitted he had witnessed a plane crash. Meanwhile, Scott's daughter heard a loud, strange noise and had to cover her ears. Amanda, worried about her children, went into the jungle to find them and brought them back home safely. However, Amanda's husband had not returned yet, causing her anxiety. Amanda's son mentioned he felt strange because he didn't cover his ears properly during the loud noise. After sending the children to their room, Amanda asked Scott about the noise. She believed he knew what it was. Scott revealed that it wasn't the sound of a plane or a bomb, but likely a soundwave weapon. This revelation worried everyone. Amanda expressed her concern for her husband, who was still missing. She mentioned seeing a man in the market 2 days ago, stocking up on food and water, suggesting he knew about the impending events and was preparing for them. Scott revealed that the man was his friend who was aware of such situations and always prepared in advance. At that moment, Amanda's husband returned, looking very scared. He handed them the red papers he had found, which had been dropped from the plane. Amanda's son recognized a word from the papers, which he had seen in a game. It meant, America's mole. They realized someone had attacked America to destroy it, but they didn't know who. The family was very frightened. To ensure their safety, Amanda and her husband decided to take their children to the city. However, Scott advised against it, saying the situation in the city would be very bad and that staying here was safer. Despite Scott's advice, they left in their car. On the road, they encountered a massive traffic jam caused by cars that had suddenly gone out of control and collided with each other. The road ahead was blocked by the cars. The reason for all this was a system malfunction. Then another car approached from behind, so Amanda quickly got into her car, moved it to the side, and thus saved their lives. With no other way to proceed, they returned to Scott's house. Amanda's husband and Scott's daughter started talking. while Scott explained that his friend worked on very big projects, making him very rich. This friend already knew about these kinds of situations and had built a grand house with many facilities to face such emergencies. After some more conversation, they put on music and started dancing. Suddenly, Amanda's husband and Scott's daughter heard a strange noise. When they checked, they saw a large number of flamingos, which was very unusual. Then the same painful noise started again, loudly. They covered their ears and held on, but the noise was so loud that it broke some items in the house. After a long time, the noise stopped, but everyone was very scared. Amanda's family all slept in the same bed, while Scott and his daughter slept elsewhere. Following this strange event, Amanda's son's teeth started falling out one by one, causing great fear and confusion for Amanda and her husband. They couldn't understand what was happening and couldn't even call for help. Scott suggested that the man Amanda saw buying supplies might have medicine. Scott and Amanda's husband went to the man's house. When they arrived, the man was inside with a gun. He told them to stop the car at a distance. Scott was shocked because they had been friends, but his friend had changed, seeming to view Scott as a threat. Scott's friend explained that they were cut off from their government and facing secret attacks. The loud, painful noise was a secret weapon used to create fear and distrust among people, leading to chaos and selfishness. The third stage of the plan, Scott's friend revealed, would be full-scale war, resulting in the breakdown of government and law, leaving people to fend for themselves in anarchy. Amanda's husband asked what the third stage was. Scott said it meant the entire world was at war, with governments broken and no law enforcement. This was already happening. Amanda and Scott's daughter went to find Amanda's daughter, who had been missing for a while. They found her in a jungle cabin, hearing strange noises. When Scott's daughter went outside, she saw many deer. Amanda came out, screamed, and the deer ran away. Amanda then noticed explosions in the city, creating a war zone atmosphere with people screaming, indicating that where they were was safer. With no law in the city, chaos reigned, with people killing, looting, and committing crimes. Amanda's daughter ended up in the house of Scott's rich friend, a safe place with ample food, power, and internet. There were also DVDs and CDs, so she started watching the last episode of her favorite TV show. The film concludes by revealing that many countries had joined forces to attack America, aiming to wipe it out. The loud noise and strange animal behavior were part of this attack. Amanda's daughter had found a perfect place for the family to live comfortably, and the film ends on this note.